Alright, so just arrived this afternoon. I'm out here with John and Dylan. We arrived just in time for a bit of a downpour, true fashion as we're trying to set up camp. Anyway, first deer hunt of the season, fingers crossed, I'm quite optimistic, but you never know. Gonna go have a poke around this afternoon and hopefully bump into a few keen bucks.
He was in trouble. He was walking backwards and forwards, and he went down on his haunches, and then he got back up again, and he walked back off. So I'll give him 10 minutes. So he's a big deer, like body-wise. Yeah. I saw him coming, and I was like, when do I draw? And I was like, it's now or never. He was coming like a freight train, eh? Yeah. I just saw you get excited. He pulled up, and I said full draw, and I'm like, doing it down, and I'm like, Was he 20? 25? 20?
Oh, not even.
Not even.
17, 16, 17.
It was beautiful.
I hope he's down. Alright, so the wind's in our favour. The idea is to head up this ridge here in front of me. We heard a buck croaking for the last half an hour, and we're going to go see if we can track him down and make the magic happen.
the camera, so I just had the camera on you, and then like I could see you go. Like it must be looking straight at you the whole time.
He was kind of behind, and then I was hoping he went behind one of those two things that I could draw, but he went between the tree and the piece of wood straight at me. I was like, patience, Neal, patience. Like, I'm thinking about you, like, if I can come in at 3 meters, just chill.
When he went past you, I did the ultimate man. I should be up to the shooter to do the meeting, but I was in my head, I was like, that dude's gonna keep running past us. That's my meat, and he got scared. But he pulled up. Yeah, but you were on a hell of an angle, man. You were like...
Yeah, I was like that, and then I had to turn my feet. Because the last thing I wanted to do was squeeze one off, you know, twist it up.
Yeah.
And then it was like 20.
We're making our way up this ridge. We sort of came to this clearing, and a few does took off across into the thicker stuff, and John said it'll be a good spot to stop and have a bit of a rattle, because there's a few deer poking around this corner, and lo and behold, a buck came roaring in. He came charging. I don't know when to draw. There's a clearing behind me, as you can see, and there was no cover, so he came into about 6 meters, spooked, did a bit of a loop. John pulled him up with a bit of a mew, and I was lucky enough to put an arrow in him and secure my first buck. And to say I'm happy is an understatement. So, cheers, John. Thanks, Dill. How old do you reckon he's? 2 or 3? 3-year-old. Yep. 8 o'clock in the morning, 28th of March. We woke up to a nice crisp morning. Luckily it's not raining today. Seen about 16 deer so far. Came up to this clearing behind me, and John rattled this fella in for me. Pulled him up at about 12 meters, and yeah, this is my first fallow and a buck at that. So I'm an exceptionally happy man right now. This is a long time in the making. Been bow hunting for 6 years, so yeah, to say I'm elated is an understatement. Crack a day, and I'm going to be smiling for weeks. Cheers, John. Thanks very much.
It was a pretty fast action, wasn't it? You know, like he came roaring in. Neal sort of, I don't know if you called out. Yeah, you did. I think you sort of basically told me he came, and I sort of caught a glimpse of him across the paddock. Unfortunately, there's a big tree in between the camera and where he was running in, so I put the camera on Neal, and I was sort of watching, thinking about drawing. So he's obviously, yeah, we set ourselves up reasonably well, but in hindsight we probably could have been 15 metres further back into the bush, so he could have come into the bush, so we could have drawn up. But yeah, he sort of came past there, and it didn't look like he was going to pull up. I thought he was going to keep going for a while there. So.
It looked like, yeah, he was keen to keep going down the hill, so no, thanks for stopping him.
Yeah, so, that's awesome, man. First bit of antlers, and be prime meat, pre-rut, so
it's going to be delicious.
Nice young buck, so happy with that.
That's it. No, I'm stoked. He's beautiful. Last night on last light, in the pouring rain, John rattled this little spike in for me. Shot him from about 15 meters with a quartering on shot. Due to the rain, we couldn't blood track him, and we ran out of light, so we decided to come look for him today. The hunting gods are smiling on me, because earlier this morning I shot a nice buck, which I thought was my first proper fallow. Unknowing that I was going to find him later in the day. It was always our intention on the way back to camp to come have a look, but without blood we weren't too optimistic, and it's sort of a needle in the haystack. Like I said, the gods are smiling on me, and 2 deer in 2 days. I'm ecstatic. Thanks, John. Appreciate the hand. You would have thought a little spike could weigh this much.
Good meat there. Get in here, and you want to run your knife right along the edge, sort of in towards as much as you can, and then you can turn around and go up into here, and then basically going to peel that out.
Okay.
Do you want me to do one side and then the other?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Right, so we've just finished butchering the spiker. Now it's the big fella's turn. Looking forward to putting some more meat in the freezer. We're going to hopefully do a couple of roasts for the cold Canberra winters, make some more snags. We actually finished the last of the snags I had in the freezer last night, so it's good timing. And yeah, just looking forward to eating this guy.
First hunt for the year out on the deer, and yeah, we got here yesterday afternoon and the weather had turned on us. It was pretty miserable really. It was raining, misty and cold. We rattled a spiker in, and Neal managed to get a shot away from him, and we recovered him this morning. Neal got a good buck as well, so yeah, all in all, pretty happy with that trip, eh?
Mate, the ups and downs of bow hunting. We got back to camp last night and I wasn't very optimistic that we were going to find that spiker this morning due to the rain and lack of blood trail, but like I said before, the bow hunting gods are smiling on me, so thanks very much, John.
No worries.
Appreciate the help, and thanks, Danny, for the access, mate. Do appreciate it.